This is my gaming PC that needs an upgrade, but there are two problems. First, it's not portable, and second, it does not work when there is a power cut, which happens quite a lot. So after thinking for a while, I decided to not upgrade my PC and instead get a gaming laptop that would solve both of these problems. But choosing a laptop was no easy task. The powerful Windows laptops were out of my budget, and the ones in my budget weren't exactly an upgrade when compared to the PC I already had. And all these Windows laptops didn't have a great battery either. So here I had to make another decision. Ditch Windows and go for something that actually has been a dream of mine for a very long time. I decided to get a MacBook. I went for the base variant of the MacBook Air M4 with 16 gigs of unified memory and 256 gigs SSD. Now I know 256 gigabytes is not even enough for 2 AAA games, but so is 512 gigabytes. Storage is never enough and Apple charges quite a lot for the storage upgrades. But I found an easy and cheap fix for this, as well as a trick to increase the amount of RAM, and that too for free, which I'll show later in the video. So here I was waiting for my first ever dream gaming laptop to arrive, tracking my order every few hours, every single day for more than a week. Then it finally arrived. And wow, this was one of a kind experience. From the unboxing to setting up the MacBook, it felt like I was dreaming. Everything went so smooth, unlike Windows, which has always been a headache. The first thing I did after setting everything up was installing Counter-Strike 2. After all, I got this laptop for gaming. The installation process was a breeze. Install Steam, login, click install Counter-Strike, and here it showed an option to install the legacy version of Counter-Strike instead of CS2. Now I didn't know I could do that. It's like Apple knew what I wanted. I didn't like CS2 much, but there wasn't an option to play the older version on my Windows PC. But here, it showed up as a surprise. There was another surprise waiting for me in the game, and that was the performance. This laptop ran CSGO like it was nothing. 150 FPS average on this machine, and those 150 FPS on this 60Hz display of the MacBook felt like 360. There's something Apple does that can't be explained but only experienced in person. And by the way, I played CSGO with the laptop keyboard and the trackpad since I wanted to test them as well. And I have to say it, there's no match for them. The keyboard is tactile, responsive, super accurate. So is the trackpad. It impressed me beyond limits. The accuracy of this thing is immaculate. I don't even know what immaculate means, but I think it fits well here. I don't think I'll ever be able to use a mouse after trying this magical thing. After I was done gaming, I looked at the battery and it had barely moved. Mind you, it wasn't connected to power while I was playing CS. So now it was time to go through some more things that I was kinda scared about while buying this laptop. And that was the Mac operating system. I've always been a Windows user my whole life, and switching to a whole new operating system felt a bit daunting at first. So I went through a rabbit hole of macOS guide videos on YouTube, only to later realize that there was no need of watching all those videos. Apple has made macOS for all users. Anyone can just pick it up and get used to it. It's full of quality of life features. For example, the 3 icons that are similar to the Windows minimize, maximize and close. But here they are just better. The minimize button minimizes the window, which is obvious, but the maximize button actually makes the window go full screen mode, which makes total sense. I don't know why Windows hasn't copied this yet. In Windows OS, you can't make a window go full screen mode. It's silly. Although I never felt the need to make a window full screen, but now at least I have the option. And it doesn't end here. The cross icon in macOS doesn't actually close the application completely. It does vanish from the view, but that app stays open in the dock, unlike Windows where it just closes the application. Here macOS makes total sense again. I never thought about it earlier, but what if I rarely close an application by mistake and I have to open it again super quick? I can just click on the icon on the dock and it opens it up again in the blink of an eye. This is one of the most sensible features I have ever seen in any operating system. And by the way, if I have to actually close the application, I don't know who needs to do that, but just in case, if anyone has to close the application, it's super easy. Just go to the application title on top left corner, click that and then select the quit option. If by chance navigating to the top left corner is tiresome, just right click on the app icon in the dock and then select quit. It's that simple. There's a third option as well, which is a shortcut. Just press Command Q and the application will close. 3 different ways to do one thing. It's so convenient. It's so easy to just forget about the quality of life features that macOS does on a regular basis, like the command option and control keys on the Mac keyboard. Apple could have just slapped the Apple logo on the pre-existing keyboard layout like Windows does. But Apple is built different, and they want their users to be built like them as well. So they have these 3, or shall I say 2 different keys, Command and Option. The Command key is like the Control key in Windows keyboard. The Option key is like the Alt key in Windows. And then there's Control key, which is just Control key. And Apple added a Function key as well, which brings up the emoji panel on screen. And Apple didn't stop here. To make the keyboard feel different, or should I say better, they changed the position of the keys as well, so you always know you are using an Apple computer. The list of such clever and sensible features goes on. I can't just show all of them in one single video except one honorable mention, which I think is one of those things that no one ever asked for, but Apple did it anyways, just for the user experience. And that's the copy paste and cut paste. Now a normal person would think what could be different in this, but let me remind you again, it's Apple and they love doing things differently. Now in a normal everyday computer, to copy a file you press Ctrl C to copy, then Ctrl V to paste, and to move or cut a file you press Ctrl X then Ctrl V. But here in macOS, to copy paste a file you press Command C then Command V. Pretty simple, works everywhere. But it's not different, it doesn't shout Apple. So to make it better, Apple changed something with the cut and paste feature. With third-party Mac apps, it works with Command X to cut and then Command V to paste, almost like Windows. But in macOS itself, like in Finder, which is like File Explorer in Windows but better and it always stays open in the dock, you can't just cut a file with Command X and then paste it with Command V. It's done the Apple way. To move a file in Finder, you have to press Command C to copy, then go to the location where you want to move that file or folder and then press Option Command V to paste. And again, this makes total sense, as this helps your brain to stay active and alert even when I feel like I'm on autopilot. It just can't get any better. Now let's get back to the gaming that I got this laptop for. So as you know by now, this MacBook has 256 GB SSD, which is not enough for games, so I decided to salvage this 1TB NVMe M.2 SSD from my PC to use with my MacBook. Now I won't be using my PC since it's no match for the MacBook, so I got this M.2 SSD enclosure from Amazon along with a USB hub that would compensate the lack of ports on this MacBook. Now installing SSD in this enclosure was pretty straightforward, no hassle at all. Now I had a terabyte of pretty fast storage, and the cost of this thing was way less than paying Apple or even getting an external SSD like this. Storage problem solved. Now it was time to play some more games. But before that, I noticed another great quality of life feature here in macOS. Whenever there's an external storage device connected, the eject and erase options are next to each other. It's super convenient. In Windows OS, I had to go through multiple menus to erase or format. But here in macOS, they are just there, next to each other. It can't get any better than this. Now back to gaming. So I downloaded all the games I could, even the ones I would never play. And to no surprise, all the games ran great. No compatibility issues, no performance drops, nothing. Except one thing. That wasn't actually a problem yet, but it could be in the future. Now as you know, this MacBook has 16GB of RAM or unified memory, which might be a problem in some games because the display of this MacBook is around 1440p. And playing games at this resolution may need more RAM. So there's a secret solution for this as well. That solution is to download more RAM. All you gotta do is head over to this website and click this button. Problem solved. And now I was able to run almost any game at 1440p resolution while getting great FPS. And let me remind you one more thing. This laptop doesn't have a fan. I mean, I'm a fan of this machine obviously, but I'm talking about that other round thing with blades. Yeah, that fan. This laptop doesn't have one. It's like a smartphone. It never gets hot while I'm playing Cyberpunk, doesn't drop any FPS. It's just sorcery at this point. Apple knows it. What's the point of putting a fan on top of the chip in a laptop that's meant to do real work? What would that fan even do? Spin? and make the chip run cooler for better sustained performance? Who needs that when you've got Apple Silicon and a whole aluminium chassis that can radiate all the heat without any problem? Now using this laptop has been great, but I'm a sucker for desk setups. I like to have multi-monitor setups with all the peripherals and everything. So I decided to take away the PC from my desk and use the MacBook Air to power my whole setup with dual monitors, mic, speakers and all that stuff. And again, if you haven't guessed it yet, it was smooth. Yeah, I had to buy another 9-in-1 USB hub along with the one that I already bought earlier with the SSD enclosure, connected everything up and it was done. My very own desk setup powered by the MacBook Air M4. Oh, and I forgot to mention this laptop stand. It was super cheap but does the job. All the links to all these accessories are in the description. Later I decided to remove the other monitor as it was old and had really bad viewing angles when compared to the gorgeous display of the MacBook. So now, this is my dream gaming setup powered by this beast of a MacBook Air. I use it daily for work and gaming, mostly gaming though.